can you see yourself ever going back to work now you've had a taste of this?
No, I remember when we were chatting in the DMs and I was like, I absolutely just hate this role. It was just like, I was just miserable. And I think when you have a baby, your priorities just change. And I was like, I just can't be like trapped in this commute every day, this 40-minute commute there, 40-minute commute back, dropping him off at nursery, like paying somebody else to raise him. I was like, I can't do it. So I passed my assessment, and yeah, and I got the job 2 weeks later. So that was great. I was really happy with that.
And so you're on a roll at the moment. You've been on the same role since January.
Yeah, I'm on a pretty big fitness account, to be honest, and it's really great. I work like 4 hours a day. I love the account, to be honest, and I'm hoping like in the future I want to do like the closing course, and he wants to promote for a closer internally as well, so hopefully that's where the future can go.
What were you doing, in your own words, before signing up to HSS?
2024, I used to be a supply chain manager. I found I was pregnant, I had a baby in 2025. They told me my job had dissolved and they offered me a new job, which is the customer service team leader, as it says there. And I didn't want to go back to it. So
What date did you sign up exactly?
it was middle of December, so I went back to work at the beginning of November, so I didn't last very long. I was actually there a month and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
What is it that made you actually like pull the trigger?
I remember I was on Instagram, I was a bit miserable with work and going into the office 5 days a week. So I live in Liverpool and the office is in Runcorn, so it's like a 30-40 minute commute. It's a long time to like be away from the baby. I remember you posted a story, Vicky, and it was like, I just booked a last minute holiday to Sri Lanka. And I was like, I need this life. And I messaged you and I was like, I need this freedom. Like, what are you doing? Funnily enough, we'd actually spoke like prior to me having a baby. But I was like one of those people who I was like nervous and scared to like ever get out of my comfort zone. But like having like it says there, having a baby like just changed my priorities. And I seen you having all this freedom and booking like last minute holidays. And I was like, right, where can I sign up for this? Like what can I do? I need this freedom. I need like to be able to spend more time with my baby and not be like trapped just traveling to work in this 9 to 5 all the time.
So you signed up in the middle of December,
Yeah.
and then how long did it take you to get through the SETA course, and then when did you get placed?
I passed my setting course at the end of January. It took me a little bit longer than usual, just because obviously like I was working full time and I had the baby, but passed at the end of January. But then once I passed, I was like spurred on. Then I was like, right, what can I do now to like get a role? So I passed at the end of January, and then I started applying to a load of roles, and I got an interview and a trial 2 weeks after. So I'm one of the part time ones because obviously I've got the baby. Um, so yeah, I do part time and I do DM settings. So I'm literally just on my phone. I do quite flexible stuff. So I'll do it sometimes like once the baby's gone bed or like when he's napping. He's a little bit older now, so he does like like your baby does a little bit of independent play. So I can do like an hour of work when he's just like off playing with his like play kitchen.
But yeah, like maybe someone who's thinking like, what are the CEOs like to work with? Are they flexible? Is it really what it seems
Yeah,
from the outside? Like,
yeah.
how are you finding the role compared to your other role?
So much better. So the guy I work for is called Killian. We get along really well. He's Irish and I'm Northern, so I think they just generally gel well anyway. But yeah, he's great. I remember when I first started, I did like the role was advertised as fixed hours, and I said to him like I need like a little bit of flexibility around the baby, to be honest. And he was fine, yeah, and I'm allowed to do that flexibility now.
I mean, how difficult is the role setting? Like, because obviously I don't want to give anyone misconceptions. Like, it is still a job. You still have to,
Yeah,
hit targets and book calls.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sales role at the end of the day. But how difficult do you find the job? And do you like, yeah, what challenges, if any, have you faced so far?
It's not as easy as it sounds. It is hard, and I do
Yeah,
have that flexibility, which is great. But like, it's sort of like what I say to myself is it's like a short term difficulty for like a long term gain, really, because like in the long run, I'll be able to do the closing course, hopefully be a close of him because he said he would like to promote closing internally, and I'll
yeah,
have much more freedom then, where I can
yeah,
like leave the full time job and work around like the baby's nursery hours, which would be
yeah.
great.
Courtney, you get paid the base, right? And
I
plus
I get paid
commission.
a base and a commission, yeah.
Yeah, so you're well looked after, aren't you? So do you ever worry about not being able to hit targets and paying bills?
So since I've started on this setting account and I've consistently earned the same amount each month, it's never like dipped. So I get obviously my base salary, and then I've got my commission as well, um, which I get around around the same. The last few months I've got around the same, to be honest. It's not really like gone any higher or lower. Um, but I guess if you qualify and you lead properly, then you can it's gonna be all right. And Killian has really good like ads, and like Vicky said, he's a really good account. So he runs really great ads, and he gets like great qualified people in. So
I mean, just to answer that question, like, are you worried about not hitting targets? It's sales at the end of the day. So if you're going into a role, if you're going to be worried about that, probably not the best role for you to go into. If you're
yeah,
always like, if you're coming from a place of scarcity,
mm. And
go on.
also Killian does there's me and another setter on his account, but he gives us like monthly targets, and he says if you hit this target, then I'll give you a bonus. So like it it pushes us to it pushes us to be able to like hit our targets well, and gives us that incentive to make sure we're booking like good calls as well.
Most people who come into sales, guys, like you should be driven by targets and money. If you're not driven by targets and money, then you probably, again, it's the role's definitely not for you. I'd be very, very concerned if my setter and my closer was not driven by wanting to make money and wanting to hit target. So yeah, usually just by like competitive nature. If you're a competitive person and you like hitting targets, you got that sense of achievement by hitting targets, then yeah, no better role to be in. But yeah, I mean, for me, you can look at that perspective. Like that's why I live in Dubai because it's so expensive to live here. If I don't make sales, I'm going home, and that's motivation enough. Um, so yeah, I'm worried I was worried every single month that I wasn't going to pay me bills, which just made me work harder and made me like, I was always working harder than the rest of the team. But sorry, Courtney, we'll let you go.